Hello everyone, welcome to the class. Beta, today also we will continue with chapter 2 of history, socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. In previous lecture we discussed about the revolution of 1905. Afterward we discussed about the February Revolution and the impact of February Revolution. With that we also discussed about the October Revolution and the condition of Russia during World War One. And at last the Russia became a socialist society under the rule of Bolsheviks. So, after the death of Lenin, he was the leader of Bolsheviks. After death of him, Stalin became the leader of the party, and at that time there was the acute shortage of food grains in Russia. So he inquired about it, and according to him, he reported that the small size fields, those are responsible for the shortage of grains. So that is why he introduced a measure, and that is known as the collectivization. Collectivization means just to collect the small size land together, because the small size land, those cannot be modernized. Modern farming machinery cannot be used over there. And with that also, today we will discuss another topic, the global influence of the Russian Revolution. So let us start the topic. Stalinism and collectivization. By 1927 and 1928, the towns in Soviet Russia were facing an acute problem of grain supplies. The government fixed prices to sell grain, but the peasants refused to sell at these prices. Stalin, who headed the party after Lenin, introduced firm emergency measures. He believed that rich peasants and traders were holding stocks in the hope of higher prices. Speculation had to be stopped and supplies confiscated. So in 1928, party members, they toured the grain producing areas and raiding kulaks. Because these kulaks, these was the name for the well-to-do peasants. As shortages continued, the decision was taken to collectivize farms. It was argued that grain shortages were partly due to the small size of holdings. These small-sized peasants' farms could not be modernized. To develop modern farms, it was necessary to eliminate kulaks, take away land from peasants, and establish state-controlled large farms. So this policy, it was known as the collectivization. From 1929, the party forced all peasants to cultivate in collective farms, and these collective farms, these are known as kolkhozs. The bulk of land and implements were transferred to collective farms. Now in these implements there were the livestock and other implements also. Peasants worked on land and the kolkhoz profit was shared. Enraged peasants resisted the authorities and destroyed their livestock. The number of cattle fell to 1/3. Those who resisted were punished, deported and exiled. Peasants argued they did not want to work in collective farms. So, government allowed some independent cultivation but treated them unsympathetically. Production did not increase. The bad harvest led to most devastating famines when over 4 million people died in Russia. Many criticized the consequences of collectivization, because by this collectivization, again, whatever Russian Revolution was there for the socialism in Russia, it was not successful, because again the land was taken from the peasants. So Stalin charged these critics with conspiracy against socialism. By 1939, over 2 million were in prisons or labor camps. Most were innocent of the crimes, and were forced to make false confessions, under tortured and executed. So this was about the collectivization, that how firmly this measure was implemented in Russia. But here if you will see the basic theme of socialism, it was violated, and again the people, they didn't have any right to raise their voice against the government. So the next topic is the global influence of the Russian Revolution and the USSR. So many countries, they were influenced by the Russian Revolution. So in many countries, communist parties were formed. The Bolsheviks encouraged colonial people to follow their experiment. Many non-Russians participated in the Conference of the Peoples of the East. Some received education in USSR's communist university. USSR had given socialism a global face and world stature. In each country, ideas of socialism were rethought in variety of ways. So this was about the global influence of the Russian Revolution and the USSR. As if you remember, after the French Revolution also, so many ideas were given to the world, like the right to freedom, right to speech, the democracy. And by this Russian Revolution, the idea of socialism, that spread all over the world. So this was about this chapter. Hope all of you have understood the topic. Thank you and have a nice day.